Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Good evening everyone, this is Crossbone Vanguard. I'm Dempster and I'll be your host for today. Crossbone Radiowave is a radio show dedicated to bringing you anything and everything Crossbone Vanguard and Cardfight Vanguard, including updates, announcements, and so on. Keep in mind that Crossbone Radiowave is not an official radio show and is entirely inspired by Hibiki Radio's Radio Vanguard G and Radio Vanguard G Next. And yes, I am back, finally. It's been 2 to 3 weeks ever since the last Radio Wave, so really sorry for that, and thank you if you are continuing to listen and tune into Crossbone Radio Wave itself. So there has been a lot of things happening, and there's so much to talk about, but I'll just summarize it as quickly as I can. In short, I had a lot of fun in Japan. Now, at the time of this recording, and as well as when this Radio Wave is already out, you should have seen the album of whatever pictures I took in Japan. So it was really a very fun experience. I mean, this is my third time going to Japan. Second, if you count, okay, not really second. It is my third time going to Japan. So, I was there for about 2 weeks around there. So I went to quite a lot of places. My first stop was in Tokyo. So Tokyo, the usual places that everyone will go to, which is Ikebukuro, Akihabara. Well, in fact, I stayed in Ikebukuro, and my trip last year with Leon and another friend of ours, we stayed in Akihabara. So there's two places now. I don't know if there's anywhere else that I can stay in, but I don't know. In the future, I'll probably find a lot more cheaper and better places to stay in. I don't know, but I personally like the places that I stayed in so far. And not only that, I also went to other places like I can't get it. I can't think of where exactly I went to at the top of my head. But I went to a lot of weird places. I went to Akihabara twice, in fact, because once, it was just not enough, you see. Going to Akihabara, you really need to spend at least like 3 to 4 days there, and just explore every single nook and cranny, because there's so many things there to explore, and so many card shops. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is a Vanguard channel, and there's a Vanguard radio show. So yes, we're gonna talk about Vanguard itself. So there are a lot of card shops over there, and I didn't go to a lot of them. I went to the more popular ones like Card Kingdom. I think there was a Yellow Submarine there. I can't really remember. I think so. But there are other card shops that aren't as well known as Card Kingdom, but they're there. So I went to a lot of those, and they were selling a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because Yu-Gi-Oh is very, very popular in Japan. Whereas Vanguard is like moderate success, but of course can't beat the OG, which is Yu-Gi-Oh. So I found a number of cards. I bought like a few cards that I could find over there, and how should I say this? I didn't really buy a lot, but I bought the ones I needed, because it's very hard to find it in Singapore already. So not only that, not only Tokyo, I also went to Osaka. So Osaka, I went to USJ, Universal Studios Japan. Had a lot of fun there, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and how should I say this? Well, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm saying that. Not only that, Osaka has a lot of card shops as well, surprisingly. I thought that, it's just Akihabara that has a lot of card shops, but I was wrong. In fact, there are card shops literally everywhere, in certain designated spots of whatever whatever prefecture they are in. And there's so many of those that, you go to one place, you see like a bunch of cards of different prices. Then you go to another shop, you see like even more cards of other prices, and also Leon can vouch for me on that. The fact that there's so many card shops all over the place. But enough about that. Overall, the trip was really good, and I want to go back there again. Hopefully in December. So if this radio show actually does go all the way to December, then yeah, expect to have a 2 week or so hiatus from Crossbone Radio Wave. But that's out of the way. The main point is still this week's Radio Wave. So let's get on with it. Stand up, Vanguard! Crossbone Radio Wave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. This program is brought to you by Crossbone Vanguards. Crossbone Radio Wave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Good evening once again, this is Dempster, and I almost forgot to mention earlier. It's already April, and April marks the new financial year of the whole world. So yeah, it's kind of weird because they started in April, and so of course there are a lot more things that Bushiro has introduced. We've already talked about it in great detail in our what happened and whatsoever videos. So the only thing I'm going to talk about here is the fact that April Fools was Miwa's birthday. So happy birthday, Miwa, and I hope you stay awesome, and I really pray and hope that you actually do manage to win Misaki's heart and become a couple. That would be quite funny if they really, in the future, way in the future of Vanguard, they come in as adults and they're like really together, married and have kids and stuff. But I digress. That's a talk for another later time. So anyway, now we just talk about the most recent episode of the anime Cardfight Vanguard G Next Turn 26, Return of the Vanguard, or Kikan no Vanguardo. I know that I missed the last 2 weeks, but it's okay. I'll just summarize it in general first. So basically, what happened during the past 2 episodes was okay, Tokoha's team and Chion's team already made it past stage 1, and we already know that Noah was different world ridden by Chaos Breaker Dragon. So Noah confronted, or rather Chaos Breaker Dragon confronted Chrono, and they were engaged in a fateful fight. So whichever team that wins that fight will progress to the next round. I mean, obviously Chrono with his plot armor and his luck stacking skills got through and won and moved on to the next stage. So after that was done, this week happened. So this week they were really hyping up the audience, saying that IG is, they already announced the IG Legend deck, and well, IG came back, in fact. And I honestly, this week there really isn't much to say other than the fact that it's it's really just mere fan service and a lot of pardon me for the term, cock tease. If you guys know what that means, then yeah. So anyway, why I say that is because there really isn't much going on this week. It's just the main people, at Card Capital, the other members of Team Q4, Kai, Misaki, and Kamui, and also people like Morikawa, Izaki, crap, I forgot the name. Oh, Shingo and Naoki, all awaiting the return of IG. So apparently IG came back because it was a summer vacation in America. He was studying abroad there on space studies. I can't remember the exact term for it, but it's like astronomy, astrology, whatever. So he was studying that, and it kind of makes you wonder why he studied that. Probably to know more about Cray. I mean, I won't be surprised if it really came to that. Like, he has like a lot more extensive knowledge about Planet Cray right now and how to get there without the power of Image Ishiro or something like that. So and also with the return of Aichi, of course, comes the return of that very awkward moment where, of his sister, Sendo Emi, and Chrono himself. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's the fact that, last year, the voice actor for Chrono, Ishima, actually, got married to the voice actress for Emi, which is Enomoto Atsuko. But those two got married, and what happened after that was very funny. On Twitter, Kamui's voice actress Ishikawa Shizuka, she was like going on saying, how dare you, Chrono? How dare you steal my how dare you steal my princess or my goddess whatsoever? Referencing the real life marriage and the characters in the show itself. And then Misaki retweeted that and said, not Misaki, Misaki's voice actress, Kita Izumi, she retweeted it saying, tough luck, Kamui, I guess, luck ran out for you or something like that. So it was very, very funny on that. But not only that, in the show, Emi actually said, IG told Chrono that Emi said, I had fun then, say hi to Chrono for me. So that kind of ticked Kamui off, and it's like, oh, good for you, Chrono, so good for you, it's like and then Chrono, being the clueless dance guy himself, he was like asking, what why are you reacting like that? That kind of he was like, what exactly is going on? Then Kamui is saying he said something like, Emi is my goddess, she blah blah blah, and also the reason why he called Aichi Oni-san, which is brother, And what Chrono said after that was so funny. He said like, "Oh, but what about Nagisa? I thought Kamui-san, I thought you have her." It was like a super burn right in the whatever for Kamui, because we all know Kamui is so scared of Nagisa, especially even more so now that she's all grown up and she's got a voluptuous figure and things like that. But anyway, so he was really scared of that. I found that to be the one single funniest thing ever in this episode. And not only that, another thing that they did confirm is the stride that the G unit that Aichi gave Chrono. It was confirmed and even said by Aichi himself that it's a GB8 card. So we've already talked. We when we heard of this, we were like, GB8. Are we even able to achieve that right now, especially in the competitive scene? Because with the way people build their decks and the way people play it right now, if sometimes the game will already end before you even hit GB2, and if on some rare cases, before you even strike, you're already dead. So to hit GB8, is it really possible right now? I mean, if we were to account for the fact that every single clan, you do not is equal in every single way, the speed to get to GB8 is exactly the same. The only difference would be depending on what strides you use, what GB, whatever G units that you use that flips a copy over, or the new G Guardians that introduced in the Fighters Collection that requires you to flip a Guardian up in order to use that skill, and it's a GB1 some more, so you can't use it on the first one. So you have to play at least one of another G Guardian that is not from the Fighters Collection, which is kind of weird because right now, in order to get GB8 as soon as possible, from your first strike onwards, you have to start using G units that requires you to flip a copy over, and in order to do that, some of that requires that as a cost. You need to G Guardian first before that. So if you were to count G Guarding first, then after that, move on to your first strike and so on and so forth, that would require your first one, that's 1, and then you stride over. Your first strike will be a GB2, you flip one copy over GB3, then at that point, you start using the new G Guardians from the Fighters Collection. So you use one that's GB4, you flip one GB5, and then you stride again, that's GB6, then GB7, and then finally, you strike to the new G units in Fighters Collection, then you hit GB8. So that will take us about like 3 to 4 turns in order to pull that off. And well, I'm not too sure what exactly the skills are right now because none of that has been announced yet. But to think about GB8, it's such a hard requirement to hit. Are we able to achieve that, and are the skills worth it? We won't know until they actually come out. So if once they are announced, the very moment the first G unit with GB8 ability comes out, we'll probably talk about it in, say, either what happened or you know what grinds my regards, depending on how we feel about all these cards so far. And another thing I also forgot to mention at the start, do listen to the end of the radio show for an announcement. Whoops. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Next up is, what's that card? This is the section where I will pick a random card from a random clan and describe it in the most cryptic way possible, and you guys are going to guess what card I am describing. I will announce the answers at the end of the show, so listen on if you want to know whether you're correct or not. So, this week we have a card that is from Dark Zone again. We've plunged down again, yes, into the Dark Zone. And this is from Spike Brothers. I think this is the second or third Spike Brother card that we've described, but it's alright. I mean, sooner or later we're gonna hit, repeat clans anyway. And not only that, this is all based on random generate RNG. So, I really have no control of these things. So anyway, this card is, he's a grade 2 with the intercept ability, 5k shields. What's surprising is that he has a 6k base power and 1 critical. 6 base power, so see, I'm stumbled already. So 6k base power for a grade 2 is very, very low. If you think 7 was bad enough, there's now 6. So 6 is super low, or if I were to call it super, super low. No, that's Cap. Anyway, yeah, so this is, I think I've already mentioned this from Spike Brothers, so it's a football themed thing. So of course there's a football helmet in there. The whole card, the whole theme about the card is generally purple, and this unit is, yeah, it's a guy, and it's blonde, and it's got bat wings and stuff, devil wings whatsoever, and his race is a demon. a very nice demon, I would say. Yeah, and from the looks of it, it looks like he's taking a break by either ingesting in whatever liquid that is. It looked kind of like steroids to me, which I guess is kind of common because a lot of sportsmen do that. But I digress. Let me know if I'm wrong, because that's a very common stereotype that has been circulating around the years. So anyway, he's got one single skill. It's a rearguard skill, and well, I think that is all I can say. So one more last clue that might give it away or not, I'm not sure, depending on you, is that this card is relatively new, but at the same time it's very elusive, so you won't get it unless you are literally reaching out for him. So that's all I can say for this one. So listen on to the end if you want to know what the answer for this card, for this week's What's That Card is. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Card Trivia of the Day. This is a section where we pick a certain card and talk about it in as many details as possible, such as the skill it has, the artwork, its use in the deck, and of course random trivia about the unit. If you have any picks on what card you'd like us to talk about, feel free to drop a comment on our social medias or send us an email, all of which will be mentioned at the end of the show. This week, I will be talking about not just one card, but a series of cards. These cards come from Kagero, and their origins hold a special place in my heart ever since I was a kid. They are Genjo, Goku, Hakai, and Gojo. When they first came out, all of them had very basic skills except for Genjo, who was, the heal trigger. So Goku's skill is that when you have him as your Vanguard and you drive track a grade 3 Kagero unit, you get to retire one of your opponent's grade 1 or lower rearguards. Gojo's skill is that by resting himself and dropping a card from your hand, you get to draw a card. Hakai's skill is when he attacks, he gets plus 3k if you have a Perdition Vanguard. Now, but when Kai's Legend deck was released, all 4 of them became triggers, with Genjo remaining as a heal trigger, Gojo becoming a draw trigger, and Goku and Hakai being critical triggers. Now, if it isn't obvious to you yet, these names are from the Japanese pronunciations of the 4 main characters of the very popular Chinese novel Journey to the West, or Saiyuki in Japanese, namely Genjo Sanzo, or Xuan Zhang Sanzang, Son Goku, or Sun Wukong, Chou Hakai, or Zhu Bajie, and finally Sha Gojo, or Sha Wujing. Journey to the West tells the story about a Buddhist monk traveling to India in order to fetch a set of Buddhist scriptures back to China and spread Buddhism to his native land. Along the way, you meet his 3 disciples. He meets his 3 disciples: Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, who was trapped under the 5-Finger Mountain for 500 years for defying heaven; Zhu Bajie, known for his insatiable appetite for food and women and known to be the laziest of the group; and Sha Wujing, a sand demon that's quiet but certainly the most hardworking of the group. The 3 disciples were chosen by Guan Shiying to serve Xuan Zhang to accompany him along his pilgrimage in order for them to atone for their sins in their past lives. The references don't end there either. When they returned as triggers in Kai's Legend deck, they were given new prefixes to their names. In a respective order, they became Sanzo Master Genjo, Seiten Master Goku, Tempo Master Hakai, and Kenden Master Gojo. Sanzo, or in this case Sanzang as I mentioned before, is the title that refers to Xuan Zhang's mission to seek the Tripitaka, or the 3 collections of the scriptures. Seiten comes from the title Seiten Taisei, or Qi Tian Da Sheng, that Wukong gives himself, which translates to heavenly sage equal to heaven, as a way of rebelling against heaven itself, after being given the lowest position in heaven by the Jade Emperor, which is the great protector of the horses. I know it sounds underwhelming, and Wukong probably thought the case too, so he was really pissed off. Next, where was I? Right. Tempo comes from the title Tempo Gensui, or 天蓬元帅, which means Marshal of the Heavenly Canopy, and is Bajie's previous life before he was banished to the mortal realm as a half-pig, half-human as a punishment for flirting with the Chinese goddess of the moon, Chang'e. Nope, not Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi is Japanese. This is Chinese. And lastly, Kenlin comes from the title Kenlin Taisho, or 卷帘大将, which means curtain lifting general, and it was Wu Jing's previous life before being punished for breaking a vase. And by being punished, he was banished to the mortal realm as well as a man-eating sand demon. Most sources state that he broke the vase by accident, but he was still punished nonetheless. Journey to the West is one of the very few stories that I enjoyed and remembered fondly as a kid, and even until this day, I'm really happy to know that these characters are often referenced in pop culture, be it a playable character capable of taking down 1,000 enemies in one fell swoop, or a card with an artwork as memorable as the trigger lineup in Kai's Legend deck. So, personally, like I've mentioned, I really like the Journey to the West series. And I've seen so many reincarnations of the story that every single one of them it feels so unique. And there are the anime Gensoma Den Sayuki. I followed a bit of it before it was gone, or rather I don't know, it disappeared, I guess, in my life. And there was also another game on the PlayStation by Koei Tecmo. No, it was Koei back then. It was called Sayuki Journey West, and it's a tactical RPG, strategy RPG. It's turn-based. So what's unique about that is that you get to choose the gender for Genjo or Sanzo in this case, as either male or female. And it's also a funny thing because in the Kai's Legend, or rather, all the Dragon Monk Genjos in Kagero are all portrayed as female. I mean, it's I don't know. Apparently females are whatever. So and of course another one that I talked about, which was the playable character capable of taking down 1,000 enemies in one fell swoop. Only 2 of the 4 characters made it in, and that is Wukong and Sanzang. So, Sanzang was portrayed as a female. Voluptuous female, I don't know why they did that, but they did it. And Wukong is portrayed as a villain in the story. Of course, he became a playable character after that, and he was so broken that they had to change him from a speed character to a power character. And that makes sense because he doesn't need any mounts. All he needs is his Nimbus Cloud, or whatever, the Somersault Cloud, as they call it, or something like that. And yeah, he was very fast on his own already. So anyway, after digressing so much, let's come back to this. So that is all for this week's card trivia of the day, and let us know what card you'd like us to talk about next. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Crossbone information. This is where we bring you news about upcoming releases, local events, and insights about Cardfight Vanguard and Crossbone Vanguards. G Legend Deck 3, The Blaster, Aichi Sendo, will be released in the Japanese format on April 7th, Friday. This Legend deck provides further support for Royal Paladin and the Alfred and Blaster archetypes, which includes G Guardians as well as 2 copies of Holy Dragon, Religious Soul Saver. In the English format, G Character Booster 2, We Are Trinity Dragon, is now on sale. This set contains further support for Oracle Think Tank, Dimension Police, and Great Nature, so be sure to get these sets and enhance your Vanguard experience. Bushiroad Championship Series Spring Circuit 2017 will be held on the 15th and 16th April in Singapore at Suntec Convention Hall 405. Aside from the main tournament itself, there will also be side events such as free fight, teaching sessions, and preview sessions for Bushiroad's new English-only game, Dragonborn Rise to Supremacy. Not only that, Leon, the captain, and myself, as well as some of the fellow Crossbone Vanguard's members will be there too. We'll be holding a meetup with you fellow rearguards, so to just hang out and chill and talk about anything under the sun. So do come on over and find us there. The anime Cardfight Vanguard G next airs at Cardfight Vanguard's official YouTube channel every Sunday at 10 AM. At the same time, tune in to Crossbone Vanguard's YouTube channel for a new Cardfight every Thursday at 6 PM, as well as our weekly gaming live stream every Sunday at 7 PM. That is all for Crossbone information. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. this marks the end of today's episode of Crossbone Radiowave. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's good to be back. It feels really good to be able to do this again. So let's move on. I will now announce the answer for what's that card. And I hope it's a dead giveaway by all the clues that I've been giving so far. But if you haven't, the answer is Devil Dome Chemist. So Devil Dome Chemist is a PR card in the G era, as seen as the nation flag right beside its clan and stuff. So it's a great tool. He's got an intercept ability, 5k shield, 6k base power, which is very, very, very low, and 1 critical. Now the reason why he's a 6k base is because of his one and only rearguard skill. So plus 1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, increase this unit's power by the unit's power until the end of the battle. At the end of the battle, put this unit to the bottom of the deck. So wow, okay. So when you attack with him, he doubles in his power and becomes a 12k attacker, which I guess, in a sense, it's really a very normal thing, because there are a lot of GB1 cards that hit for 12k, or heck, even very old cards that are subclan specific that already hit for 12k, and it's not just on Vanguard. It's when it hits the rearguard as well. So I really don't know why they made a card like this, but I guess it's to being able to call him out again and hit harder. I guess that's the only reason why, but I haven't seen anyone that uses it yet, so do let me know if you know someone that uses this. So anyway, as I mentioned in the beginning, or rather in the midway through, because I forgot, my memory is a blank. So anyway, I mentioned that there is an announcement at the end of the radio show. So the announcement is that Crossbone Radiowave will be changed from every Wednesday to every Saturday, the same time at 9 p.m. So this is to allow us to have more time in writing what we need to talk about every week, and also to keep a hype at an all-time high for the upcoming episodes and releases. Well, this is actually slightly taken in the same fashion as Radio Vanguard G and Radio Vanguard G Next, because they do it every Saturday. So it's also a breathing space for all of us, because when after the script is written throughout the week, and on Sunday itself, when we watch the episode, then we only have like the very few moment to write this, to think about what we can talk about the episode on the week itself. So by shifting, by putting the release time on Wednesday, the release day on Wednesday every week, I only have literally 3 days left to record everything and get it done. Well, and that, I guess after doing it for 10 sessions, it's kind of taking its toll on me. So I decided to push it to Saturday. So we have literally 6 days of coming up with the script and just recording it and all. So we have more time for other things as well, especially if I'm doing, I'm the one doing the weekly live stream for the week. So thank you for understanding on that, and I hope you guys can continue listening to Crossbone Radiowave, because this is the kind of project that I really want to see take off. So far it's been doing pretty well, don't get me wrong, it's doing pretty well so far, but it can be a lot better. So, and with your interactivity and with your cooperation, with your contribution, I'm pretty sure that we can make this huge together in the future. So anyway, on that note, just want to let you guys know that we accept fan mails and we'll be waiting for them. So if you have one, do send it over to our email at crossbonevanguards@gmail.com. That's crossbonvanguards@gmail.com. From now onwards, I'm just going to repeat it once, so you guys already know. And Crossbone Vanguards, there's an S at the back, so don't forget it as well. If you have any questions you would like to ask us, feel free to send them to us as well. And of course, we also send them. You can also send them to us at our socials. We're on Twitter at CrossboneVGS, Facebook at Crossbone Vanguards, and not to mention, follow us on our blog at crossbonevanguards.com, where we post deck profiles, event coverages, and other things that we cannot post on our YouTube channel. And lastly, we also have a Discord server. So if you want to join us, you can join us and be a fellow Crossbone Rearguard. So you can chat with us and other fellow Rearguards, have fun, just hang out, chill, and talk about anything under the sun. And lastly, we have a Patreon page, which I have not mentioned until now, but if you like what you see or hear, in this case over here, and want to support us even further than you already have been doing so far, do check it out at our page, our Patreon page. Links to everything is all in the descriptions. So You can pledge some money to us if you like, and help fund us with our more ambitious projects, be it more variety on whatever content that we want to post up here, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And soon to be Buddy Fight, and of course our Vanguard web series and so on and so forth. So do consider supporting us there. Now with that said, thank you all very much for listening, and we'll see you again in the next episode. Tang Endo! Good night! Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. This program has been brought to you by Crossbone Vanguards.